Are you a first-time home buyer? Is this your first time selling a house? Do you know how to go about finding the right agent based on your needs? Today we'll go over some important information that every consumer should know before venturing out into home ownership. Knowing the difference between a client and a customer is an important factor when it comes to any real estate transaction. A client is someone in a binding contractual agreement with a brokerage to represent them and to look out for their best interest. A customer is someone serviced by a brokerage without a binding contractual agreement. When selling property, a listing agreement would be used, and when buying property, a buyer's representation agreement would be used. Buying property without a buyer's representation agreement makes you a customer only. An agent is well versed in all things real estate and can give valuable advice and opinion to their client, but is not obligated to offer that advice to a customer. And an agent's responsibilities vary greatly based on their agreement with you. An agent owes their client fiduciary duties of obedience, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, accountability, reasonable care, and diligence. And a customer is only owed honesty, fairness, and disclosure. Keep in mind that whether you're selling or buying property, commission rates still apply to both transactions. To receive the most benefit out of an agent, it's highly recommended that you establish a client relationship with the agent of your choosing. Many first-time home buyers know little to nothing about the home buying process. They typically start their home search by driving around town, looking for sale signs in yards, calling each agent listed for that property. They have no clue the difference between a listing agent and a buyer's agent, and what a relationship with the right type of agent can afford them. So let's go over the difference between the two. A listing agent is an agent who is employed through a contract to perform real estate brokerage services for someone selling a home. When representing a seller, a listing agent's focus is on the marketing of that property for the benefit of the owner, such as getting the highest price possible, maintaining confidentiality of information, or closing a sale in the shortest amount of time possible. Keep in mind, when looking at for sale signs in yards, the contact listed on that sign would typically be the listing agent who is representing the seller. Remember, their fiduciary duties lie with the seller, not the buyer. A buyer's agent is an agent that is employed through a contract to perform real estate brokerage services for a buyer. Many people think it's not necessary to enter into a buyer's representation agreement to purchase property, and it's not required, but I want to give you something to think about. When representing a buyer's agent's highest priority is helping the buyer only. When purchasing a home, this is the agency relationship you should consider because a buyer's agent's fiduciary duties lie only with the buyer they represent. They can offer step-by-step guidance on how to apply for a loan, choosing the best lender that meets their current need, generating a list of properties that interest them, scheduling showings of those properties, ensuring that the property is without any latent defects not disclosed, and navigating through the negotiation and closing process. Sometimes both the seller and the buyer agents work for the same brokerage, resulting in full representation for both parties through an intermediary relationship agreement. There are several factors that go into this, so let's revisit that topic at a later time. For now, let's go over how you can find the best agent for the job. Do your homework. Ask your friends and family for recommendations of trusted agents they've used in the past. Research their profile on the web and on the Texas Real Estate Commission's website. There you can see how long they've been a licensed agent and if there have been any complaints filed against them. Research going commission rates and be ready to negotiate the best rate possible for you. And finally, when you think you've found the right agent to represent you, sit down with them and go over the logistics and what they have to offer before signing anything. Lastly, here's a few tips on what characteristics to look for in an agent. Are they a good communicator? Are they an excellent listener? Are they paying close attention to taking note of the details that are important to you, such as how many bedrooms you'd like, if you prefer carpet or solid surfaces instead, if you're interested in homes with or without pools. What's their availability like based on your schedule? Will they be free to show properties when your schedule allows? Do they have an extended list of vendor connections, such as reputable lenders or contractors that come highly recommended, just in case work is needed on a property that you're interested in purchasing? Owning real estate is the American dream. Educating yourself on the process in advance can help the dream become a reality without the stress and hassle that most first-time home buyers or sellers experience. I hope this information has been useful and helps guide you easily through your next real estate transaction. Thanks for tuning in.